Welcome to a Low Watts High Ambitions race report. This is Josh, and this race is going to sum up the Low Watts High Ambitions stuff, right? Look, I've not clipped in, I've messed up, I'm on the edge of my pedal, and then you see that little shove there from the three-over guy on the left-hand side? What he managed to do there, not on purpose of course, but what he managed to do is shove my unclipped left foot completely out of my pedal so that I could balance and keep myself upright, and any potential chance I had of staying in the bunch for this first lap disappeared, right? Absolutely disappeared. And also, frankly, confidence knocked a little bit, right? So we're coming up here, I'm putting in a couple of watts, but I'm still faffing about my pedal, I'm still not fully comfortably clipped in, and I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm at the back, let's just let these guys get through this very wet and very slippy course, right? We were the last race of the day, and there had been some crashes, let me tell you, right? There had been some skin left on this circuit. In fact, our race, which was down to be an hour, was actually delayed by 25 minutes because there was not enough medics left on the circuit after the crashes in the prior races. So this is the sort of circuit we were talking about, right? And it is tight. First time I've ever done the Loughborough circuit, and what you'll notice is there's a lot of different conditions on the roads because of tree cover, because of different types of tarmac, different levels of grip. So not only have I had a really poor start, this is my second sort of tight city centre crit, and this is the second time I've had a really poor start. Start at Darley Moor, off the nose, off the front, when it's going to be no help whatsoever. Get a bit of pressure in a town centre crit like this and I can't get clipped in, but hey ho, it's only my second year racing at this level, right? Despite my older age than a lot of these youths that I'm racing against. This speed bump was huge, right? I'll pop in a photo next time we go round of me jumping over this speed bump. Absolutely gigantic. Taking it really steady into here. We've been told by the comms to take it steady, which, you know, what's that going to do for us? But the reason I took it steady through that corner is on my last warm-up lap, I'd watched somebody deck it. So that was the condition that we were in, right? At this point, we're a lap in. I'm kind of getting a sense that we're not going as fast as we should be here, but I'm thinking, right, this climb is probably going to come together a little bit and I can make some space. So I've got my head down, I'm looking at the back of this beasting guy and I'm thinking, right, let's just get to this climb and I'm going to shoot up this climb at some big watts and hopefully get back on. And it was at this corner I realised that actually that's possibly not what's going to happen here, because this guy has lost the wheel in front, which was a little bit heartbreaking. So I see up the climb for the first time and it's still strung out, it's already started dropping wheels, and this is why that positioning in a crit like this is so important. That little fluff I had at the front where I couldn't get clipped in has led me to be at the back, and then all these wheels that can't hold the wheel in front of them are just going to completely wreck this for me, right? I stand that had I done a little bit of a better job, then I would have been in here, and I'm going to make it my mission at this point to get back and get on to the bunch. It's going to mean pushing it through these corners, it's going to mean putting in some big watts when my heart rate is already high enough. So we're coming into here, I'm thinking, right, let's get a little bit of a rest, get a bit of a respite, because hopefully the group is going to slow down into here. There was a real big bump in that corner, but it was still the fastest line if you could get through the bump. But this bit was sketchy as anything. So you'll notice I took sort of 4 or 5 miles an hour faster into the first of these two corners there, but still not really taking much of an advance on that second one. There was a grate right in that corner that you might have seen just as we apex there that looked like the easiest way to have a crash on a wet circuit. You know, they can't decide where the manholes and the grates are and stuff, and they did give us a warning that they were on the corners, but wow, yeah, really awful placement. So coming through here, coming through that bottom wet corner at 30 miles an hour, hitting this one at 25, so maybe 3-4 miles an hour faster than that first lap that we did. Again, coming into this absolutely gigantic speed bump, and the group are just down at that far corner there, and I was preying upon prey, big watts, as big as I could put in when I've basically been chasing for 2 laps here to try and get back onto this group. I gave it everything I got at this corner after a long and delayed start to the race. Legs were not as warm as I would want them to be. But somebody on the front of that race must have done a gigantic turn, because it's still strung out, and it is totally strung out as well, by the way, right? There's no riders next to each other. It's a complete line, as you can see, as they go off over into the horizon. And I just thought I'll just keep going, just keep trying. But that guy, he's cut me up a little, not on purpose. I've no doubt that he even knew I was there until I was alongside him. But as I come into this corner, off they go. All these young youth riders with about 10 kilos less than me dash off up this climb, and despite me doing over 500 watts to get up here, they have just totally gapped me. And it was at this point that I thought, okay, I'm going to keep trying, I'm going to keep pushing, but I can see this race being a bit more of a training race, and that it was, right? We jump here sort of 10-12 minutes later into the race, and I'm back into a chasing group. And with the National Omnium coming up in August, all I wanted to do really was stay upright. So I wasn't going to take any giant risks. I was quite happy for some wheels to sit in with those. Up to this point, I had been on my own, really, just dashing around, trying to not get lapped too early, right? Not to lose my dignity like that a little bit too early. Nice little group though. One of the things that you'll notice as we come around this lap here with this group is just how much the conditions have changed in the last 15 minutes. So this top patch here is almost entirely dry. And I just thought that this was the biggest mislead as you come into these tight corners, this tight left and right hand bend, because you could sit here and you go, oh, nice, you know, totally dry, not a problem, right? Come into this corner at best part of 25 miles an hour and it is still absolutely sopping wet in this section here. The great cover that's on the lines there is still holding water, right? So, you know, despite the fact that we were maybe 4 miles an hour faster through that corner than we were at the start, I was still pretty sketch. And then you dry again, right? You can now run along that grate on that apex without a problem at all. There's a nice little group that we had left. A couple of us just who'd been dropped early. It was great to have the support. Any crit I've done like this, where you get a lot of support, a lot of cheering coming through, makes a big difference. It's nice to do it. Track riding is great for that. We did the national track early on this year, and that was to a sellout crowd. Lots of fun, that is. It's just having that cheer on really does help you get round and help you stick in it if you're in a situation like us poor boys were here, where we are off the back with very little hope of staying on. But one of the nice things we heard from the announcer as we did come through here is that we were lapping at the same time as the main group here, which, you know, it's all well and good being able to do that. It's reassuring to know that we're still sticking on at that same pace. We would have been fine, but, you know, you're not in the group, so how reassuring can that truly be? You see here we're still holding water down at the bottom, and this corner coming into the climb was still a little wet. It's an interesting corner where you have this big speed bump and you come straight into that right hand bend, and saw a couple of guys try and pedal through that, and a bit of a back wheel fly up as they come around that corner. They held it, no crashes in our race at all throughout, which was quite impressive. But you see here, we just got a lively little bunch of guys that have attacked each other a couple of times up this climb, and it just kept the race interesting, meant that I was still putting some big watts down, despite the fact that I'm not in that main peloton. But hey, that's what these races are. They are savage. And as we come down here, everything's dried up now. Take that corner at best part of 25 miles an hour, and we are coming to an end. We were a lap down in the end, us there on the back on this little chasing group, but I was quite happy with that, with such a poor start. And it's all experience, it's all good, and I always try and not come last in these races. So you'll see here, despite us having been nice to each other the whole way through, I'm just gonna make sure I just tap my front wheel over from this guy, because I don't know who's behind me and I ain't gonna go last. So it's been me, Low Watts High Ambitions, Josh, reporting in. Follow the Instagram, drop me a subscribe, and these are coming mostly on a weekly basis as we drop through the summer. Cheers for watching.